Well, hello students. Let us start with our first practical assignment for PPS. The problem statement is to calculate salary of an employee given his basic pay. Take as input from user. Calculate gross salary of employee. Let HRA be 10% of the basic pay and TA be 5% of basic pay. Let employee pay professional tax as 2% of total salary. So calculate net salary payable after deduction. So this is what is the problem statement. Carefully read the problem statement. If you have not understood in the first reading, please read it twice, thrice. So let us understand some basic concepts when it comes to salary calculations. So what is basic salary? Basic salary is the base income of an individual. It is a fixed part of one's compensation package. A basic salary depends on the employee's designation and also the industry in which the employee works. What is allowance? An allowance is an amount received by the employee for meeting service requirements. Allowances are provided in addition to the basic salary and vary from company to company. Some common types of allowances in the problem statement is like traveling allowance and HRA. So what is an HRA? HRA is a house rent allowance. It is an amount paid out to employees by companies for expenses related to rented accommodation. Traveling allowance is the amount provided by the company to cover domestic travel expenses of an employee. There are other allowances like conveyance allowance, dearness allowance, and other allowances, other special allowances, medical allowances, incentives, etc. These varies from company to company again. So in our problem statement, HRA and TA is being mentioned. So what do you mean by gross salary? Gross salary is the amount calculated by adding up one's basic salary, which is fixed, and allowances. Then there are some deductions of taxes. It includes bonus, overtime pay, holiday pay, and other differentials too. So gross salary is calculated like it is the summation of basic salary plus HRA plus TA as per our problem statement. Now how to calculate the take home salary, or you can call it as total salary or net salary. So net salary or take home salary is obtained after deducting income tax at the source, that is called as TDS, and other deductions as per the relevant company policy. So professional tax as per our problem statement is 20%. So it is applied to the gross salary. So you have to multiply it with gross salary. That will give you the professional's tax. And then net salary is calculated as gross salary minus professional tax. Okay, fine. So before going to the functions, let us start with the coding on our Colab, as I have introduced you the Colab in the first lecture. So here is our program. Okay. So this basic pay is what is our variable where we are going to take the basic pay, or we are going to store the basic pay with the help of input function. With the help of input function. So what is the input function? It is used to ask the user of the program. User of the program is not the programmer, he is the layman. So you are asking a question to the user and then wait for a typed response. Typed response through the keyboard. The typed number is then returned as the result of the function, and usually it is stored in a variable. So in our case, our variable is the basic pay, where we are going to accept the response from the user. So in the first line of code, we are asking basic pay equal to input. Input is an inbuilt function which asks from the user. It waits for the keystrokes to be pressed by the user, in which we are passing a string so that user come to know what we are asking. So the string is enter your basic pay as shown on the screen, so that the layman, non-programmer should understand what you are expecting. whatever salary will be pressed through keyboard is going to be stored in the variable basic pay. Okay, then I'll explain you what this try does, but before that let us understand this thing. So basic pay has been stored. So this input by default is a string. So now it should be either converted to int or float. So there is a inbuilt function int and as well as float. Here we are making use of float because it can be in terms of point decimal also. So the float function accepts this variable. It accepts the parameter. It could be directly the number or it could be the variable also. So we are passing our basic pay variable to this float function. So it converts the string into the float and again it is stored in the variable basic pay. Got it? So your basic pay is now in the form of float. Then we are using the control structure. The first control structure, if. Now we are checking using if. If this basic pay is less than 0, we are printing. Print is again an inbuilt function. What string has been passed to the print function? Basic pay can't be negative. It should be greater than 0. Otherwise, if it is less than 0, we should say print basic pay can't be negative. And exit will allow it to come out of the if loop. So this is the if basic loop used over here. Then, as told previously, it is mentioned in our problem statement that HRA is 10% of basic pay. So HRA we are taking as another variable and we are calculating 10% of basic pay, which is calculated as basic pay multiplied by 10%, that is 0.1, and it is stored in the HRA variable. Then in the statement it is mentioned that there is a 5% of traveling allowance. So 5% means again it comes to 0.05. So that has to be multiplied with basic pay. And again it is assigned to TA. So we have obtained our HRA and we have obtained TA. Then we can calculate the total salary. So the total salary, or you can say gross salary, is what? It's the summation of basic pay plus HRA plus traveling allowance. So basic pay plus HRA plus TA will give us total salary. Now in our problem statement, it is also mentioned that the employee pay professional tax as 2% of what? Of total salary. That is the gross salary. Okay. So 2% means again it is 0.02. So it has to be multiplied with total salary. That will give us the professional tax. So we have obtained the professional tax also. Then the net salary payable or the takeaway is, we have said that as salary payable. The variable name is salary payable. What it is? It is total salary minus professional tax. So we have to just calculate the difference of total salary and professional tax. That will give us the net payable salary or takeaway home salary. So in this way we have calculated our net payable salary. Okay, and that we are printing through the print inbuilt function. Salary payable is the variable salary payable. Okay, so we will just run the program and see how it runs. You need to just play this button after doing the settings as I have told. So it is asking you a basic pay. Let us put it as 10,000. See, the salary payable it has calculated as 11,270. Okay. If at all I again run this program and instead of the digits, I enter some text, what will happen? See, it is printing as enter amount in digits. Now, why it is happening? Because we have handled that condition through try and accept. Okay. So what is the try and accept? Let me first tell you. Okay, there are exception versus syntax errors. So what are the exceptions and what are the syntax errors? See this example. Like if I say print 0 by 0, what will happen? Let us do it in the Google Colab. So let us say here print 0 divided by 0. Okay, and run this. See, it gives the error. What is that error? The error is 0 division error. Okay, division by 0. So it is showing an error. So this is called as an exception. Okay, so it gives us error. Okay, so there actually the arrow indicates where the parser ran into the syntax error. In this example, there was one bracket, there was two bracket which is mentioned in this slide. Okay, so for that it will show that it will be indicated by the error, by the arrow. Zero division error is an integer division or modulo by 0. This time you ran into an exception error. This type of error occurs whenever syntactically correct Python code results into an error. Okay, instead of showing the message exception error, Python details what type of exception error was encountered. In this case, it was zero division error. Okay, so there are so many built-in exceptions in Python. Okay, so actually how these exceptions are handled, these are handled by these blocks. These blocks are called as try block, except, else, finally. Okay, so here in this in our programming we have used try and except, else and finally I'll demonstrate you, but in further programming we will use all of it. So what try does, it runs the code, okay, till the first exception occurs. A try clause is executed up until the point where the first exception is occurred. Okay, raise allows you to throw an exception at any time. Assert enables you to verify if a certain condition is met and throw an exception if it isn't. In the try clause, all statements are executed until an exception is encountered, as we have seen just now. Except is used to catch and handle this exception that are encountered in the try clause. Else lets you code sections that should run only when no exceptions are encountered in the try clause. And the finally block enables you to execute sections of code that should always run with or without any previously encountered exceptions. Okay, so here in our program, we are making use of only try and except. So wherever there is a value error, it will handle that by just printing this statement, enter amounts and digits. So here is our first program which is running properly. As I have told you in my first video that the setting of the notebook you can change and you can set like this. We are running this code on Python 3 on CPU. So this setting is made like this and you are making use of play button. And here itself you can see the code along with the output. One more important thing you should take precaution of it. When you are using try and except, see it ends with the colon. Okay, whenever a loop or a block as per the syntax ends with the colon, the next line does not start with the same margin. We have to leave some space over here. This space is called as indentation, and this is very, very important in Python. Indentations are very, very important. See, in this case, if I just miss the indentation, it will give me error. Let us run this code and see it's showing the error on that particular line. See here. See here. Keyboard interrupt. Okay. So let us run the code. Okay. You can run the code in this way or you can run all from the beginning. So there are 2-3 options to run. You can either click on the play button or you can select from the menu run all like this. So here basic pay, it is showing the error. Okay, here indentation error, accepted an indented block. So it is expecting an indented block and we have skipped the indentation. Let me correct that code again. Now let us run it again and see whether error comes or it runs properly. See, the error is not there, and that's why I said indentation plays a very important role. It is same, applied same for this except block also. Since it runs, it ends with the colon, always remember the next line should not start with the same margin. You have to leave some space like this, or else it will give an indentation block. The same way you do for if control statement, as it ends with the colon. This is the syntax of if statement. As it ends with the colon, next line obviously should not start with the same margin. You have to leave some space. This space is called an indentation. Okay. If you miss this space, it will give an error. Okay. Let us stop this and run it again. See again, line number 6. It says that consistent use of tabs and space and indentation. So here it is expected to be indented block. If you run it again, okay, inconsistent use. Let me correct this. Yes. I hope you have understood this code, and let's meet in next session with the second practical assignment.